Am I the a-hole? For embarrassing my brother's friend's parent when she thought that I'm the housemaid? I 16 female have no idea how genetics work, but my maternal grandmother had dark skin, while my grandfather had fair skin. My mother was born relatively fair, and so is my father, but I ended up with the same dark skin as my grandmother. My 2 brothers, 2 male and 5 male, are fair too, making me stand out a little. So what happened was that my brother had just turned 5 and my parents invited 4 of his friends and their parents to our house for a small party. I was cleaning the things in the kitchen while my mother went upstairs for her medicine not related to the story when I was approached by one of the parents who passed me some plates to wash and asked if I could speak English, to which I replied yes, as a second language, not a lie, because it is true for me and my whole family. And then she proceeded to ask me about how long I've been staying here, how is my family, etc. By that time it was clear to me that she thought I was the housemaid. Instead of correcting her, I decided to entertain myself by playing along. I started to refer my parents as sir and madam, and cooked up a whole load of bullshit to answer her questions about my life. When I was done cleaning, I went back to the hall with the parent and mischievously called my brother young master, which confused him. And then my mother came downstairs, and I called her madam too, to which she immediately realized what had happened and told me to stop it, also telling the parent that I'm her daughter, the sister of the birthday boy. Have to admit, everyone laughed a little at the misunderstanding. Instead of laughing it off too, the parent became very red in the face. She apologized and then took her kid and left the party, just like that. It was kind of awkward for a while, but the party went on without them, since there are still 3 more kids with my brother. My parents told me after the party that I have taken it too far by embarrassing the parent and wanted me to apologize to her next time we meet, if there is next time. I refused to because I think she kind of asked for it, could not stop myself for having a little fun. And who the heck just assumes someone to be the housemaid and get all nosy about her life? Am I the a-hole? For embarrassing her? Extra info. This is actually not the first time I pull something like that, because I get mistaken as adopted or babysitters sometimes, and I tend to troll them a little, and they usually laugh it off after knowing the truth. This is however the first time I get mistaken as maid/housekeeper in my own damn home. Now let's read some comments. Not the a-hole. In my opinion, what you did is hilarious, LMAO. She's an adult woman and a mother. She could just taken the embarrassment like an adult, apologize and laugh at herself. But she had to make it extra awkward by leaving and taking her kid from the party. Oh, also she totally has some obviously racist preconceived notions about skin tone, and absolutely should have known better than to assume you're a housemaid. Oh my god. She may not have been trying to be malicious, I could be wrong OFC, but she's at least racist through ignorance. She saw darker skin and thought housemaid. I can't. Edit. Just wanna say I don't think there's anything wrong with anyone choosing to be a housemaid, au pair, nanny or any job like that. But the history of black and brown women being housemaids is steeped in racism, and assuming a darker skinned woman is a housemaid based purely on her skin is racist. Good secondary point. B/C. Right now I'm feeling badly for every person employed in any service industry who happens to have a dark complexion. Assuming a darker skinned woman is a housemaid based purely on her skin is racist. To be honest, assuming pretty much anything other than skin color based on skin color is racist. I can't imagine just walking up to anyone and firstly asking if they spoke English and then diving straight into their personal life, especially since it sounds like she thought that Op was a 16-year-old who had to leave her home country and family to go and work. As far as she was aware, she was probing into some trauma. And she's 16. Who gets a 16-year maid? I imagine the Op is from a developing country, but still, 16. I don't think the parent was mean, just a misunderstanding, and I know snooty people who wouldn't talk to the help, and she was being nice. If I were the Op, I would apologize. The Op did have a laugh at her expense, and for all you know, the parent might have been worried about her child working as a maid and trying to see if she was treated well. If she was just trying to get info on the family and snooping where she shouldn't, I wouldn't though. Only the Op can guess her intentions. I think it was more from her washing the dishes and seeming to have a different race than the others living in the house. But I also think that housemaid should not have been the first thought. What country is this from? Not the a-hole. It isn't your job to save an adult from being outed as prejudiced / a bit thick. What happened to the old and polite, I don't believe we've met before? I'm Billa's mom. To be fair, if the parents have an extremely different skin tone I would likely make assumptions too, though they would range from maybe it's in the family to maybe it's a stepchild instead of HM. Clearly it's some higher help. As you say, it's more a form of everyday racism than maliciousness most likely. Agreed on the edit. My sister got shamed by a former friend who thought we had an immigrant Latinx nanny growing up. Our nanny was white, a non-immigrant citizen, and an absolute necessity because our mom, as a physician, worked odd hours. So shaming someone for having a nanny is shaming someone for not having a stay-at-home mom. Physicians can't suddenly cancel all of their appointments to pick their sick kid up from school, and my mom generally didn't even get lunch or bathroom breaks because her hours were so awful. And I don't completely understand why having the nanny be of a different race or ethnicity made that much of a difference, unless she thought our parents exploited someone who was a recent immigrant or had questionable legal residency status. The history of black and brown women being housemaids is steeped in racism. Could you explain? I'm genuinely curious and don't know the history here. The phrase racist by ignorance is incredibly appropriate to the context. It should be used more often. Oh, also she totally has some obviously racist preconceived notions about skin tone, and absolutely should have known better than to assume you're a housemaid. Oh my god. She may not have been trying to be malicious, I could be wrong OFC, but she's at least racist through ignorance. She saw darker skin and thought housemaid I can't. This is the part one don't get to. Even if Op looks visibly different from her brothers, a more reasonable assumption would be maybe she's a half sibling from a previous relationship. Who the hell jumps to maid first? At least now Op has a reason to get out of helping to clean up when they have a party. Sorry, mom, can't help. Wouldn't want to be mistaken for the help and then embarrass your friends by calling out their racism. Better if I just don't do anything, not the a-hole. Exactly. The thinking not part of the blood family is understandable if the skin tone is that different from the rest, but there are a whole host of possibilities that could be the case before you get to maid. Even if the true one of taking after a different grandparent didn't occur to you. Could be adopted sister, could be family friend, could be relative of one of the other kids, could be half sister, could be neighbor who's popped round to help, not realizing was full sister to the nipper wasn't racist. Jumping straight to maid, and one who can't speak English to boot as the next available option is certainly heading in that direction at the very least. A good friend of mine, male, white blonde hair, married a Hispanic woman and they had a daughter. For some reason, the daughter dominate gene is from the father. She has blonde hair, blue fair complexion. Whenever the mom take the daughter out to the playground, people assume the mom is her nanny. The mom laughs it off most time, but it happens so much, it does get annoying. She is a little relieved the daughter is now a teenager, so not much is said. The normal reaction would be to think that a teenager doing dishes was simply a polite teen helping out. No, this woman is a racist. Woman saw dark skin, and the thought Op was the help. Absolutely gross view of the world, and I love how Op handled it. As for the parents, Op may want to ask them how they handle racism. If they can't answer, then it opens a discussion about how Op feels in these moments. Just because she's a teen doesn't mean Op has to obey and cater to the feelings of adults. Her feelings are valid. It's just sad the adult woman would assume dark skin color automatically means someone is working in a service-oriented career. I would think the first question you'd ask when meeting someone at any type of party would be, how do you know so and so? Not the a-hole. Totally on her for making an assumption like that. I don't know why it's so hard for people to just say hi, I'm name, child's parent. You could have easily responded with hey I'm Op, birthday boy's sister, and she would have avoided all that. But no. She went with darker skin equals maid, and you dealt with it accordingly. Definitely not the a-hole. It's fair that having a different enough skin tone and a big age gap could make Up think she's not the boy's sister, but my first guess would have been cousin or neighbor, not the help. Right? Like, having drastically different skin complexion may be an actual good excuse for mistaking Op for not being related to the family, but that's no excuse for assuming they are a maid. The guest should have asked, oh, how do you know the birthday boy and his family? To which Op could just have said I'm actually his sister. She saw darker skin and thought housemaid I can't. Not only that, but she also assumed Op couldn't speak English at first too. I'm actually laughing. Op, this is great. I almost felt bad for the parent, because I guess they were trying to be nice, but in the end they were just racist AF, so they deserve it. As the brown daughter of a blonde white woman, I can corroborate this is way too common. It is unfortunate that people make such dumb and racist assumptions all the time. I'm from South America and now live in the US. While this was already confusing to people in my home country, even though most people there are mixed, I can see people heads exploding when introduce my mom here in the US. It's like they can't possibly imagine I come from her because I'm a different color. Not to mention all kinds of other racist stereotypes such as assuming your family is poor or uneducated and I must have come to the US looking for better opportunities merely because you are Latino. Thanks for watching. Hit the subscribe button and activate the notification bell for more videos. Also like the video if you enjoy it.